Mhm, 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 mhm.
This is actually a good podcast. I think it's going to give people the chance to see who we are.
Of course. I think so too because we are mothers.
We are.
We are mothers and we are black queens on top
Yes,
of
we are.
that.
Yes, we are.
So, you know what I'm saying? Mm,
Yeah.
successful women coming
Preach
to
on, preacher.
you from So Problematic Podcast. Speaking of, welcome to another episode of So Problematic. This is your girl CiCi.
And Jay.
And yes, we're definitely discussing motherhood. We
Oh,
thought that this was a very important topic because obviously Mother's Day is here. And
literally.
although every day is Mother's Day,
Baby.
let's just put that out there, okay? On everything.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is
Yeah.
every day. But since it is a day that is celebrated for
Mm-hmm.
mothers around the world, we're here to just discuss our experiences and what we feel motherhood is to us.
Yeah.
So
You know what? Like people was like, oh, Mother's Day is every day. I'm a mom every day. Yeah, we know. We know. We see your kids. Calm down. What Mother's Day
period.
really is a day to go and acknowledge it. Because let's be honest,
Hmm.
yes, we're moms every day, but being appreciated extra one day doesn't hurt nobody and it feels darn good. I
Hmm.
mean, it doesn't kill. It's like Valentine's Day. You love the person every day. We know. We don't want to hear it no more. But
Exactly.
there's nothing wrong with giving a little extra love that one day. Like it's nothing gonna kill you. And if you don't want to do it, then just don't do it. But as for me and my house and my life, you won't celebrate me, okay? But them 9 months were not easy.
Mm,
So stop
speak on
complaining
it.
about it's every day. We know it's every day you're a mom, but don't act like you don't appreciate being loved on a little extra that day and being cuddled up a little extra by your babies or without your babies celebrating you because Mother Day is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Some celebrate with their kids, and that's fine. Some celebrate without their kids, and they
Yeah.
do the day to themselves, and that's perfectly fine too. Because let's be honest, you might want a
Yeah.
day to your damn self to
I like
relax
it.
and
I
to
like it
breathe.
either way. For my
Yeah, me
preference,
too.
I think that I can do sometimes with the kids and then
And
sometimes without
sometimes without the
the
kids, yeah,
boys
because somebody's
because
gonna be
I need that me time to celebrate
yeah,
me on that day. Period.
yeah. I know, yeah. Like Mother's Day for people who want to do with their kids, that's cute. Be with your
Mm-hmm.
kids. But for the moms who don't and they literally throw the kids to the, to the daddy and they go for the whole day by themselves, sis,
Mm-hmm.
yes, because you are celebrating. This is your day to really get your break and your rest to celebrate you. And
What?
I'm for that. I am for it.
So
And
what
either
is
way,
a good Mother's Day look like for you? Like to celebrate on that specific day. What does it look like for you?
you know what? In the beginning, it was going to be me with my baby all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would say the ideal Mother's Day is to not be woken up and somebody attending to her needs other than me. Like, I'm be honest with you, like, I feel like Mother's Day should be where you don't got to be a mom. You can just rest and just be at peace by yourself.
Say that
You
again.
know, the kids will come back tomorrow. Literally,
Say
not
that
even.
again.
They'll be there by 5 o'clock that evening. Back. I just
Mm-hmm.
feel like I want to go take a spa day and get my body just massaged out
Okay.
after this happens after a good brunch with some homegirls that are mommies and some mimosas. After mimosas and
Yes.
brunch, we go to have a spa day, like a facial, a massage. And we could talk about motherhood, but just us
There.
talking as mamas. That's an ideal Mother's Day to me. And then at nighttime, I'd cuddle my baby at night and say I'm proud I have her and she made me a mommy. But the daytime, me, me, me.
Mm-hmm.
Evening, me, my baby. That's what I think would be
I can
ideal
do
Mother's
it.
for me.
I can do it either way. Like, okay, so say yours is that way. I can be the
Mm-hmm.
opposite. I don't mind having breakfast with the boys,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, early in the morning or, like catching something early in the day and then
Yeah.
evening or afternoon, probably is my time or me time or
Feel you.
enjoying something which is like lunch
Yeah,
or dinner or something like that out and
with the
about
girls. I feel you.
with the girls or just with myself and probably just taking myself shopping. I
Be
think
honest with you. Yes, yes. I'll be honest with
know
you.
me with the
Shopping
shopping.
by yourself as a mom is ideal. It's ideal. It's like ideal.
Okay. So
True.
I think for
True.
me I can do either one, you know.
Yeah.
So
But I
but I
think
think
our
the majority
common
of the of the day I would definitely want to myself.
me too. I feel you. Yeah, just to like
Let's just put that out there.
because you're always a mom
Look
and
at
your
this.
mind's always consumed with your babies. It's like give me my time just to think about me, and all of me. Because
Mhm.
mothers are not selfish. We have to always think about the child. So an ideal Mother's Day would be, you got my children,
Mhm.
let me just be me. Let me reconnect with me again, you know? That's an
Yeah.
ideal mother. Yeah, I think for any mom, I think get that time for yourself, sis. I agree with you
Exactly.
100%. Now, let's start to the from the core. Now,
Mm.
before we had our children, what was your ideal number of babies? How much did you want to have?
Okay, so before kids, I was like I could
Mm-hmm.
do 3. I said 3.
Oh,
I
I
was
said two.
like you said 2?
I said two.
I said
No,
3.
I went from three. Then I wanted two, and then like before I had Mackenzie, I was like, I think I was 29. So for me, it was like I'm fine with not having any kids. If I don't have any, it's fine for me. I like traveling. But then when she came along, it's like, what was I thinking? I had to have a baby. I was like, I'm fine with just traveling with my husband. And this now it's like, oh gosh, she's my world.
Um I'm okay with the 2 now.
Perfectly, yeah.
Definitely okay with the 2.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, before having kids at all, let's not forget that I was a teen mom.
Sure,
So
sure.
um that came about very early. So after
Gotcha.
that, I was just like, yeah, 2 is good enough. Maybe one more when I find my husband, and then I was good with that. And 2
Gotcha.
is exactly where I'm at, and I'm good with that.
I wanted to. And when I had Mackenzie and realized like the beauty of having a child, I was like, I want two. But
Hmm.
my lot in life with divorce and everything. So I had my
Yeah.
one. But now like my whole emotion is I wouldn't mind. I don't know. Depending on the person
Hmm.
and who I'm with, I
Hmm.
wouldn't mind popping out a second one. But y'all
Hmm.
don't quote me on that now. Don't quote me on that now. Because it never happens. It just never
Give me
happens. Like it
another
took
one.
me if it never happens, I've come to the understanding that Mackenzie is enough. But if it does happen, I do want her to have a sibling.
That's,
And
yeah,
so if it
that's
happens,
cool.
I'm all open to popping out one more.
One more.
Mm,
Where
mm,
girl? Were you one of
mm.
those moms that was like, oh, I gotta have a boy and a girl, or I gotta have 2 girls, or I gotta have 2 boys?
To be honest, my ideal was two daughters.
2 daughters. You wanted two
To
girls?
always I always wanted two girls. I've even said if I had a boy first, I have to have a second one. But if I had a girl, I would be
Hmm.
fine with having only one. Because I've always seen myself having like a daughter.
A
I
mini
did.
you.
A
That's
mini
what
me.
you
I've
wanted.
always I've always envisioned a girl. Like I never realized what it would be like until now. That homegirl give me a run for my money. But
She
you
definitely
know,
is.
the hypothetical child that I was raising in my mind was just like me and was ideal. The one I got, she is a firecracker, but she's coming into her own personality, and I can say it's challenging.
Right.
But I love it to some extent. Like when she's sleeping and I'm looking at her sleep, watching her sleep, it's like I'm just in love with who she's becoming. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I see you, girl. You're gonna be a little world shaker. Like you're just full of fire. So, Candy,
Yes.
what about you? What did you see as that? What did you?
Well, obviously, being a teen mom, I had a boy first. So after having a boy, I was like, I want a
Mm-hmm.
girl. So we definitely was hoping that Jacob was a girl. I ain't gonna lie, but
What
because
was
he
her
was,
name gonna be?
I didn't have no names though. But
No.
I did want a girl. And then when I seen that little penis on the little sonogram thing, I just was like, you know what, God didn't want me to have no girls. That's what it is.
Mm-mm.
Cause I wanted my 2. He was my second. So I just was like, okay, God, I see you. You wanted me to have boys. That's fine.
Your
Come
boy
to find
mama.
out, my husband spoiled these boys like crazy. So imagine if I would have had a girl, done. I wouldn't have been
It's a wrap.
non-existent.
You've been
Period.
out. Yeah, you wouldn't know who you are at the end of the day. That's
What?
true. That's
Listen.
true because when men have girls, it's like,
Mhm.
hey,
I
I'm
heard.
here
I'm a
still.
daddy's girl,
It
so I
it's very true.
definitely
It's very true.
very true. So.
It's very true. When Mackenzie's father saw her and realized, because for him he doesn't want no more kids. So for
Mhm.
him, he had her later on when he was 40. Not, oh Jesus, not 40. He was 30 something, 38 or 39 when she was
Mhm.
born. So for him, it's like I'm pushing 40. Like I don't want no more kids. I already had this one. Look how old I am. And
Yeah.
that's all due respect. He wanted just one for him. He wanted one. So when it was a girl,
Mhm.
it was like love at first sight. And yeah, they tend to push the mamas out of sight. And girl, I always wanted a boy after her because I'm like, I need somebody to, gravitate to the mama. So
Yeah.
and my son would have been named Nathan. Nathan.
Nathan. I like
Nathan.
Nathan.
Mackenzie was almost a Nathan. She was almost a Nathan. My brother's name is Jonathan, and I love his name. So she would have been a Nathan derived from Jonathan.
I like that.
Telling me a Nathan, but she's a Mackenzie.
Mhm.
So,
Let's get
what
into
was it
these.
like when you found out you were pregnant with both your boys?
Okay. All right. We going there. We going there.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this is how me and CiCi are entwined for life. Okay, this is
Yes.
motherhood. Is how we're entwined. Y'all gonna see. It's how we're entwined.
Okay.
It really is.
So since I have two, let me go through the first one. Jay, my oldest.
Hmm.
Obviously, I was a teen mom. The story of that is I was trying to um what was I doing? I was doing my health checkup for track and field at the high school. So I had to go do my physical. Listen, it was too funny. I had to go do my physical. So my stepmom took me to go get my physical, and the lady came back and she was like, "Congratulations!" And I was like, "Congratulations to who?" Because in my parents' mind, I wasn't doing nothing. I was being, I was out there being grown. I was out there being grown. Okay. I was doing grown things and they didn't know. So my stepmom looking at me like, who? Congratulations to who? I didn't give y'all my pee. That's how she was looking.
Mm-mm.
And so obviously they told me and I didn't believe them. I was like, y'all playing too much. I'm getting ready for track and field. Maybe y'all walked in the wrong room. That's how I was looking at them because
Mm-hmm.
I had the stuck face. And so yeah, so obviously I had to deal with that at a young age. And then basically going to tell his dad and then my dad because my dad wasn't there. I had to go home and tell my dad. And yeah, my dad didn't talk to me for a couple of days.
Oh
He
God.
was definitely, I was a daddy's girl, so he was in his
So,
feelings.
so how did Jay's dad take care?
I think he knew.
Mm-mm. No, friend. Don't tell me he knew. Oh, I feel
Listen,
you. I feel what you mean. Like he knew. Okay.
I think he knew. So I'm gonna just leave it at
Mm,
that.
got
And
you.
he was just like, "Oh, well, let me know what you want to do. You know how men is. Let me know what you want to
Yeah.
do."
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I didn't even expect to be in this situation. So that was like very odd because I was definitely 4 months pregnant already. I had no idea I was pregnant. You hear those stories all the time, especially like they have a show out on it. But
Yeah. I didn't know I was pregnant. Yeah.
I didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I had no idea because I was still, I think technically I was still bleeding the same. I can't remember that
Mm,
far back, but my cycle was still the same in the beginning.
wow. Wow.
Um, I did probably notice the color change, but probably not really paying attention to it.
You're not that
Me
young.
not knowing what's
Yeah.
going on with my body. So I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't feel, I was really ready to run track. I was
Oh
already
man.
practicing. So I felt nothing. And here I am, 4 months pregnant already.
Damn.
End up having him 2 months later because obviously I didn't get the proper nutrition. I was stressed, dealing with, being
Mm-mm.
teen mom and issues in the
Yeah.
household. So yeah, that was my first experience. Was pretty rough, I want to say. Um, but look, he's here, almost 18 years old,
I
healthy
know
as
that's right.
shit. He was 3 pounds because I had him early. He was 3 pounds even.
Damn.
He had to do the NICU
Thank you.
for I think maybe like 2 months. I want to say about a good
Mm-hmm.
8 weeks until he got his weight to where he was able to leave the hospital.
Hospital.
So yeah, that
So what
that
about
first
Jacob?
Jacob. Let's talk Jacob, okay?
Let's
Because
talk Jacob, y'all.
let's
Cause
talk
hey,
Jacob.
let me go get my stuff ready.
Listen, what happened with Jacob? Okay, I think that I think we
Hmm.
were at work, and I kept telling
We
you
were
I
at
was.
work.
We was at work. I
We were
definitely
at
we
work.
worked and we sat right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to always tell you this. I'm like, especially during that week. I remember
Yeah,
telling
you
you I
were
wasn't
feeling.
feeling good.
You were feeling
I
good.
wasn't feeling good. I felt very nauseous. We kept talking about taking a test.
Mm-hmm. Take the test. Take the test.
You
Take the
kept telling
test.
me
Take
take the
the test.
test. I
I
was
said,
like,
take the test.
I
Take
was
the
like,
test.
no. I was like, I don't know. Let me wait until I go to my gyno. You know what I'm saying? And
We
so
ain't trying to wait. We ain't trying to wait.
I wasn't trying to wait. So I
I
took the
was gonna
test,
wait.
and I think I came in the next day or the day after, and I was like, "Bitch, I'm pregnant." I was like, "You told me all the food cravings I
I'm
had,
pregnant.
all the symptoms
Girl was
that I was
craving that.
feeling.
She was craving that food.
I kept eating. I was craving a lot of
Mm-hmm.
food,
Mm-hmm.
and the smells. Remember certain smells in
You
there?
ain't with it.
I
It was
wasn't with
hard.
it. I wasn't with it. I remember that. Yeah, definitely. But you was the first person I told,
Let me tell
besides
y'all.
hubby. But you was the first person I told, and I was just like, oh my god, here is Jacob. Now
How did
Jacob's,
Rod take it? How did Rod take it?
my husband took it. He was like excited. He was very excited, but he was also, um, let's wait and see what the doctor says. That was his
I
reply.
know what you mean. That's yeah. That's I got the same thing, and it's so annoying when they do that.
It was like he was afraid to show too much excitement because he didn't want it to be. He wanted to be sure.
Yeah,
you know, Tests
yeah.
lie here and there, false negatives, whatever, false positives. So I think that he wanted to be 100% sure with the doctor confirming it. So I'm looking at him like, ain't nobody trying to trap you. I already got you. What you mean?
I can't stand you.
But no,
I can't
he
stand
wanted
them.
to confirm with the doctor. So
Hmm.
although he wasn't like showing excitement, I knew he was excited. And so once we went to the doctor's office, he literally walked out the door calling everybody. Oh yeah. He calling his mom, he calling his dad, you know. Like I was just like, oh, so you just needed to hear the doctor say that we were pregnant. That's what it was. That's how we doing it.
You know what? Yeah, I could see that because that's what happened with Mackenzie. It was where I booked a trip to St. Martin like that
Mm-hmm.
Monday. Cause we did like a yearly trip with the couples, like us and like two other couples. Booked it on Monday, and my period was religiously every
Yes.
month. And so I was like, okay, I know my period's coming. It should be coming on Tuesday, the next day. So I'm waiting Tuesday, no
Mm-hmm.
period. I'm waiting Wednesday, no period. Thursday hit. I'm like, I've never been 3 days late on period. Never a day in my life. God bless me with very regular periods. My
Me
cycle is
too.
regular. My fertility, the whole thing is regular.
Yep.
So I went and got a test from Walgreens because I was like, this is impossible. 'Cause I'm thinking, when do we have sex? Like, when did this all happen? Let me tell y'all something. Took the test, right? And I went to get ready for work. I took it, peed on it, put it on the counter,
Mm-hmm.
bathroom, and went to the other bathroom, take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Got dressed, everything. So on my way out the door, about to get, I was just gonna glimpse on it. It's gonna say negative. I'll be like, all right, it's negative, so go. When I glimpsed on it, the thing didn't, it said a positive, like a little doop doop, and
It
it
had
was
the
so
yours
bright
would have the
blue,
plus sign with the negative sign,
the
or
plus
it
sign.
had the word.
It had the, not the word yet. It
Okay.
had the plus and negative. So I was like, oh hell, what's going on? So I went and I got scared, y'all. I was reading this thing like 15 times, scared. So I called CiCi,
Yes,
and I
yes.
called her early that morning, and I called my mama
That was so
asking.
weird to me because I was like, just don't never call me this early. It was like
Early,
early.
it was like 7 in the morning early,
I was like,
y'all,
I
because
hope
I had
she
to be,
okay.
because I have to be at work at 8 o'clock, and my job was in Boynton, and I was in Margate, which is like a good 45-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to leave work early. I had to go to work, leave the house early to work. Let me tell you, I went, instead of going to work on time, I went to CVS, I mean Walgreens, and bought 3 more tests that said pregnancy. When I saw that pregnant
Listen,
on there, y'all, I started shaking. I walked in the room to her father, and I was like, "Yo, it says pregnant." And he was like, he stops and he looks at me. He goes, "It's about time." And he rolls over.
no, he did not.
Yeah, he was like, "It's about time." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "What do you think is gonna happen?" I mean, about time. He wasn't excited. He was scared that he was scared of miscarriage. He was scared of all these things that he wanted to hear the
Okay,
heartbeat.
that's understandable,
So
but
for him, he was terrified. And he didn't, there was no emotion, but he got me upset because it was like, well,
his
this
the
is
way
my
he
excitement.
responded to it.
Yeah, it wasn't like, you envision somebody responding to being you having a baby.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like when he explained what happened, but when he heard the first heartbeat, that's when the doctors
Mm-hmm.
don't call it a baby until they hear a heartbeat.
Yep.
To them, it's like, oh, it, 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 it.
What is
But
it
when we
called?
heard the fetus, or
Yeah,
the fetus, they called it the fetus of it. But
embryo.
when the embryo, but when they actually heard the heartbeat and we heard boom, 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 boom,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I looked over at him and like his face lit up like, oh wow, it's in there.
Okay.
And for me, it was when it became real. And my exact
Mm.
words was, oh shit, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor turned around and said, congratulations, we have a baby. And she was like, oh, baby Reese from then on. So for him, it became real.
Yeah,
But that was my thing was like, oh God, I'm being a mom. I was terrified
I
because I'm
know.
like, I can't even keep my dog healthy. How am I gonna keep a baby healthy? And da, 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 da.
Girl,
All these thoughts are going through
a
your
whole
mind.
nother ball
And my
game.
mom just kept saying, my mom just keeps saying, you'll be fine. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do what every other mom does. You learn as you go, and it's gonna be so crazy as to what just comes naturally to you when you become a mom or you are pregnant.
You breaking up a little bit.
How was your pregnancy with both babies?
Okay, so I had one vag and one C-section. My oldest was a vag. He was early, so he was very easy.
Oh,
It was very quick and easy, I would say, because
really? So he was kind of
the
like he
pain
fooled you a little
I
bit.
felt the pain, definitely felt the pain,
You felt
but
them contractions.
oh, definitely, they were hitting hard. I didn't have time for anything. I didn't have no medication at all.
Oh, baby, no, no, no.
Okay, so the birth story of that is we went to church. It was on a Sunday. Definitely remember going to church. Hmm. And
My friends said, I remember going to church. They
I
dragged my
remember going to
behind to
church
church.
now. And
Clock you.
shouting and praising God. Hello,
I
hallelujah.
hate you. I do hate you. But go on. She said I was praising God while them contractions were hitting my backside.
I kept feeling my back hurting. I was like, why is my back hurting so
Oh,
much?
you were having them
But
back
I was,
contractions.
oh yeah, and I was just like,
Ooh.
oh. So
I'm trying to find my
I
charger.
think I think what happened was I think I left church a little bit early,
Mm-hmm.
like probably mid
Mm.
sermon. I was like, you put your little finger up. My back was killing me.
My friend said the finger. The finger
I
went
had,
up.
I had to put a finger up, and
She said, ooh.
we literally lived down the street from church, so I could
Oh wow.
walk. I could literally walk home. Oh,
Got you.
sorry,
Put
my
my headset
sinus is
down.
so. So yeah, I went home to lay down to try to take a nap, No, 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 no. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the second child. Not the second child. I'm thinking of the child after the birth. So let me rewind that because that was after I had a
My
situation after
friend,
that.
you a mama for real. You a mama
I'm a
for real.
mama. Let me
You a
get this
mama
brain
for real. Cause
together.
we be like,
I did church the whole day, but I went to the car is what I did. I went to the car. I remember that now.
my
Went to
poor
the
friend.
car to lay down, wait until everybody got at church. Then we went home. I ate food and laid down at the house. My stepmom and my dad went to a second service. You know how second services are.
Yo, they horrible. That nighttime service.
I think they left the house probably like 5:30, almost 6 o'clock.
They didn't
Six
know you were in
o'clock.
pain.
They just told me to go lay down. Think
Mm-mm.
about it. I'm 7 months.
Six
I'm like
months. Yeah.
7 months pregnant. You're not thinking that you're gonna have a baby.
That's true.
So I went to go lay down. They left the house about 6 o'clock. My child was born 6:36. So all of that happened in 30 minutes. They left the house. I kept saying, I forgot to get rid of the damn vector. If y'all hear that, that's a robot. Uh, so so what happened was my sister that's underneath me, she's 6 years under me. She kept saying, "What's wrong? I don't know what to do." I said, "Just call 911." It kept coming back to back, the contractions back to back. Probably, I want to say, if I can remember, they were like 5 minutes apart at this point.
Oh yeah, that means yeah, that means about that time.
I kept saying, "I gotta push. I gotta." She was like, "Don't push." She's on the phone with the person. I don't know what they was talking about because I was ready to push. So the lady was like, "Don't push, don't push." They're right down the street. Soon as the ambulance pulled up, my parents pulled up at the same time. My dad picked me up and carried me, put me in the ambulance. I'm in the back of the ambulance, ready to push. The lady said, "Don't push, don't push. Try not to push." I said, "How the hell you gonna tell me, 17 years old? How the hell you gonna tell me not to push when I know I feel the baby right there?" I felt him right there. I said, "I don't know how to hold a whole
I'm
baby
crying.
in my vagina."
My vagina hurt hearing this.
I was like, "How you hold a baby in?" Like, so we get to the hospital, maybe 10 minutes, like a 10-minute ride. I'm in the hallway. They waiting to get a room for me because this is unexpected. They got to get a
Mm,
room.
mm.
They check me immediately. They're like, "Oh, the baby's head is right there." They put me in the room,
Oh,
check
mm.
me. Soon as they walk out and call the doctor, I'm pushing. So technically, I pushed my son out with one nurse in the room. Nobody else was in the room but that one nurse. I had no choice but to push him out. He was coming, and I kept telling him that I had to push.
Yeah, when you feel that, I heard when you feel the urge, you just got to go with it.
I was like,
That's what I heard.
how do you stop it? I was so confused on like, do I hold my breath? Like what are you saying? I don't know how to
That's
stop
true. Like,
pushing
do you like
when the
tighten your vagina?
pressure is like right there. I don't know how you stop pushing. Don't tell me don't stop pushing. I knew he was coming. So
Mm-mm.
my sister was going crazy. She was like, "Oh my god, I didn't know what to do." I was literally walking around the house while she was calling, like on the phone with 911. I was walking around, squatting, laying, sitting on
Oh,
the floor, ready to push. I was getting in positions, different positions, trying to figure out how to not push and figure out what was going on with me at the same time.
mm-mm.
Yeah. So here I'm just in them 10 minutes that it took them to get there. I just was like I was like, "Ooh, I gotta push." Girl, terrified. I didn't know what was
Mm-mm.
going on with me. I was like,
Mm-mm.
I guess he wanted to come. And 6:36, born. Hello.
Mm-mm.
Hallelujah. He was like, "Listen, church did it. Hallelujah."
Oh my gosh.
I almost had him in the middle of the hallway at the hospital. They had just found the room and checked me. As soon as she finished checking me, push out. A small tear, not a big tear, small
Yeah.
tear, because
So what was
he was
your
still little,
little?
and obviously my opening wasn't fully ready.
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
yeah.
it was a small tear, and there he was. Jacob was the opposite. Jacob was, and oh, Jay was 3 pounds. Jacob was 8, 13, almost 9 pounds. Yeah, terrifying. I wasn't pushing that out. No, but for real though, um, I had to take shots. I forgot what the shots were called, but I had to take
Mm.
shots with Jacob because she told me that because I had a premature labor, it was kind of like percentages of me having another one or something like that. So I was just like, okay. So for the first and half of the second trimester, I had to get shots in my butt. Um, I know the name of it. What is it called? I can't think right now.
I got you. Got you. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I had to get the shots. So she gave me the shots to make sure that I have no early pregnancy, early
Oh, yeah, yeah.
labor.
To slow it
So
down.
it slowed it down, and yeah. So
Good.
he was measuring real big. She said he was measuring at 10 pounds.
Mm-mm.
My last, yeah, my last appointment, he was measuring actually 12 pounds. But she was like, "Oh, that could be water, so he could be 10 pounds." Oh, excuse me, I have to burp. I was like, 10 pounds. I was like, "Do I have to push that out?" And she was like, "No, we're gonna play it by ear and see how it goes." So my due date was, he was supposed to be due on the 19th, but he came on the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So she wanted to get it as close to the date as possible. But
Okay.
we had a schedule to go into the hospital, um, and do the whole, what do you call it? I can't think right now.
C-section,
The C-section.
or to induce.
Induce. She wanted to
To induce
induce.
it.
Induce. So I was in labor. After they did all of that, my water, all that came. So I was sitting there for a good couple hours, nothing happening. I was at 4 centimeters for like damn near the whole day. He wasn't budging after 4. And then I think she came in and she was like, okay, either we could do this again for a whole nother day, or we can go ahead and just make it happen, Captain. I was like, oh no. I was like, no, I want, and I didn't have epidural yet, so I'm at 4,
Mm.
suffering through that at 4 with nothing.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, yeah. So no, we're not gonna do this for a whole nother day.
Yeah, my friend, we ain't doing this.
I was like, give me that. I was like, I never had it before, but give it to me.
I don't
I would
blame
like to take it. Thank you very much. And yeah, let's go ahead and do it. And I was
you.
you telling me 10 pounds? I was like, nah. Mm-mm. I was like, nah. It was meant for me not to push out no almost 9 pound baby anyway. Man, please.
My friend said, I'll wait. No, I'll miss it. Girl,
Mm-mm.
I know that's right. Let me tell you
But I
something.
will say that I take vag. Well, he was small, but I take vag over C-section. I did not enjoy the C-section at all.
You ain't gotta tell
Period.
me that.
So
You ain't
let's
gotta
hear
tell me
your
that.
story.
Mackenzie was a week late, okay? Because the child
A
wouldn't come out
week late.
a week. I was 41 weeks when I was pregnant, 41 weeks. And that's why she owed me a Mother's Day gift every year of her life. Because, girl, let me tell you, I was
A
trying to go
week
on bed
late.
rest y'all. There was no bed rest for me. There was no going home early for
Mm-mm.
me. I had Braxton Hicks from the 13th, 9th week up to when I had her. When I say Braxton Hicks, some things were coming, but every time I got checked, I was half a centimeter, which is code for you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. I hate when
Half
they
a
said
centimeter
that.
is like this, not even. That's like
Mm-mm.
that. You
Mm-hmm.
you ain't progressed. They
You ain't
lied to you.
going
That's what you feel
nowhere.
good.
Nowhere.
She tried to scrape the uterus, like scrape it to see if that would progress it. She
Yeah.
tried to take, and enlarge it and just like move it around, the uterus to see if we would
Mm-hmm.
which
Nothing.
part. My body
Nothing.
was like, no, I'm good being pregnant. We're gonna stay like this forever. And then Mackenzie was high up and would not go down. So it was approaching Thanksgiving. And
Mm.
I'm like, I want to be home for Thanksgiving. I want to
Mm.
be around my dinner table. I don't want to be in you guys' faces.
Yeah.
I want to be home for Thanksgiving. That's my biggest thing for Thanksgiving. So Sunday, November 19th, I went up in there. I started feeling these contractions, right? And her daddy was at work. I called him and said, get
Uh-oh.
home, get home. This is
Yeah.
it. I know this is it. This better be it. So he got home. We went to the hospital. I was so calm and excited, not knowing what was hitting my behind.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I'm here to have a baby. So we sat there and, the contractions kept coming, but no baby and no progression. And not even, you said 4 centimeters? Sis, I wasn't even one. I was half a centimeter.
I can't.
Every time they kept showing me what half a centimeter was, I'm like, she's not coming. This is not
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
So she
oh.
just was not ready.
Yeah.
Them chills. You was getting I hated
Girl,
those chills.
let me tell y'all something. My doctor is gangster, Dr. Babu. Let me tell you, she's a small, short, little Indian doctor,
Oh
and she is
Lord.
gangster. Let me tell you, when she saw that I couldn't take it no more, and Mackenzie's heart rate started to drop.
Oh
So that's
yeah.
when they
They
were
don't play
like,
about that.
he was just like, oh, we C-sectioning, we C-sectioning. And I'm
They
like, I
don't
don't
play
want
about
to
that,
C-section.
baby.
I don't want to C-section. And
Mm-hmm.
she looked at me and she goes, I told you, I care about two things: your
Mm-hmm.
life, baby life. That's it. So before I could say, oh, okay, she said, let's walk. You know what let's walk meant?
Oh
They
yeah.
grabbed me a pillow. I put the pillow in front of my breast, and we
Mm-hmm.
walked to the C-section room.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm letting my second child out, my dog out my room.
I know.
He's so I was like, okay, let's go C-section room. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
don't do it to yourselves. All I saw was her daddy coming there with this white outfit on, the white whole outfit thing. And he sits by my head talking
Yeah.
about, are you ready? Are you ready? Negro, I'm ready. I got no choice. It's coming out of me. And so they were like, oh, the spinal block they
Yeah.
give you.
Mm-hmm.
So my pelvis and my hips are tilted. So they gave me three, one on one side, one on the other side. The one on my left didn't work right. She's like, I could
Mm-mm.
tell because the fluid is not kicking back into the needle to show that the spinal fluid is coming back. So she
Yeah.
gave me three. So I'm just sitting there with this needle going in my back constantly, and I'm just holding onto my pillow, being told to sit still. And
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna lay you down." They put the catheter in. Girl, I was crying. I was terrified.
That
And
shit was terrifying.
all I kept hearing was, "You're gonna feel pressure."
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, if y'all never felt pressure, you literally, I felt them shake this child out of my rib cage.
Yep.
I felt them
Yep.
take this little baby and shake her out of my ribs. Like I felt the pressure. You feel the pressure.
It
Like
felt
you
like a
feel that
truck is sitting on you.
on you, yes. And it's like coming out of your body. And all
Yeah.
you can do is lay down there and think to yourself, all I kept hearing was, do you feel this? Do you feel this? As she's cutting me, but she
Mm-hmm.
wasn't cutting me. When she was saying, do you feel this? I felt this heavy sense of pressure. And
Yep.
then the third time she said, oh, I'm going to start cutting now. And that third time of we're going to
Yep.
start cutting now is when I heard,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, y'all,
Let me tell
I don't care
you,
what nobody
I don't
tells you in
play.
life.
I don't care.
When you hear that first cry, and my first word to her daddy was, oh shit, it's real.
Yeah.
Like my first words to him was, "Oh shit, it's real,"
Bitch, I ain't have
because
no words.
it's been in your body, but you don't really see it. But when she came out, I was like, that was inside of me. Like it's actually a baby. Like I was
I kept
pregnant,
going
and
in
then
and out of sleep.
oh,
I
I
was
was wide
passing
awake.
out.
Oh, you were passing out.
I was passing the fuck out.
Don't feel bad. I was wide awake while on the
I was
table.
not.
You know when I passed out is when they don't tell you that when they sew you back up from a C-section, they massage your uterus
Yeah.
when you're on there and you're thinking like you're gonna die because how are you massaging my uterus when I just got cut open?
Yep.
And that's when I woke up. I passed out when they wheeled me out. I
Mm-hmm.
woke up. I saw my friend Sonia crying over Mackenzie, like, oh. And the
Yeah.
woman was like, your sister's here. I'm like, my sister?
She
And I
lied and
saw my
told him.
homegirl. Yeah, she lied to him. She my sister sis. She was like, she went there. She was there. And then I passed out. I woke up and she was like on me, massaging my uterus to get the clots out.
The
She
clock.
was massaging it, and all I could hear the clots popping, like coming out.
Uh-huh.
It's like
Yeah.
you
I
can hear
thought
the
that was
clots coming out.
weird.
And then I passed out. Came back up again. They're like, "We're gonna put you in the free room." I passed out. I came back up again, and I
Yeah.
see all my family. It's like I kept passing out, and then I got sick as hell. That's when I got sick as hell. They had to
What?
clear my room out. They had to clear my room out because his family was there. My family came. It was like 20 people in the room. Pre-COVID, y'all. So pre-COVID, 20 people in my room. I
No.
woke up and I was like a mess. And then I threw up. I started throwing up. When I started throwing up, that's when they
What?
cleared everybody out the room. Yeah. The medicine did not agree with me at all. Like, that's when the
Mm.
doctor came in and she had to take me off of what I was on. They
Mhm.
started giving me morphine, took me off the morphine and gave me something else like Demerol or something to
Mhm.
help me because I started vomiting. Like I was just throwing up, throwing up. It was not, I was getting chills. Them shakes,
Them
them
shapes. Terror. Ooh. Mm.
them
No.
shakes. And they were like, "Your baby." I'm like, "What freaking baby? I can't think about no baby right now." Like, I see her over there and I'm like, "Oh, she's there." But, like, it
Yeah.
was like, the hell?
The only thing
No.
I remember, because like I said, after everything, after the pressure went away,
Hmm.
and I guess I don't know what they did. I honestly, I don't know what they did. Rod saw everything. I looked at him. I was like, "You still love me?" Because he saw everything.
Yeah.
He was looking behind the curtain that they put up for you.
That's what her dad.
He was
Hmm.
looking back, and he saw it. He was looking. I was just like, "Okay, well, he's still here, so obviously it wasn't disgusting."
It was, I have pictures. I have pictures and videos.
He has pictures.
I have pictures of my intestines. Like I know what my intestines look like. I have a picture of my bladder, my intestines, and I think something else. And it was like on top of the table, and you can see it sitting there. And then I also have another
Yes,
video. I
yes.
have a video of my intestines, of her umbilical cord and my intestines sitting on top of the table, and then putting it back in. Her
Wow.
dad did it, but he passed out. Like he couldn't take it. Like he saw it, and then he
What?
started. He just sat back like he was like that,
Oh,
and the doctor was like, "See, that's why we say don't look over the curtain." He couldn't
yeah.
take it. He's like, "It took your whole vagina out." I'm like, "No, sir, not my vagina. That is my intestines in my body, sir. Calm down."
Man, I tell you. No, Rod saw everything. He was just chill. He was just like,
He's looking like, mm-mm.
but I passed out after all that pressure went away, and I don't remember anything but waking up in the recovery room. So whatever
Recovery
they
room.
did to me after after the
They just
pressure,
told you.
I heard
Yeah,
Jacob. I heard Jacob's cry because I was listening for it. I
you
kept trying to
cry.
keep my eyes open so I could hear it, and like my eyes supposed to listen, but I was just like,
I know
and
what
then
you
I
mean. Like you're
heard
trying to
it.
be aware of your
You trying
baby.
to be aware, but I was doped up, but I for some reason I felt every bit of the
Yeah,
pressure. That was
yeah.
the worst part for me, and
I
I
feel
just
you.
was like, C-section is not for me. I don't want no more kids. I'm
Yeah,
good.
it's hard.
Like I felt like I was on my deathbed.
That recovery is brutal. C-section recovery is brutal.
I have stairs. The minute I went up those stairs, I wasn't coming back down.
You can't. You're not.
Can't.
You're
You're
not
not
supposed to.
supposed
You're not
to
supposed to
because you
ever.
could tear.
Rupture. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, the pain. Some people could bear it. I've heard somebody say literally 2 days later they was fine. I was
Some
like,
people are good.
cool.
Yeah, some people are good.
I was like, I was like,
Not me.
not me. It took
Not
me a
me.
good 2 weeks to actually feel like normal. Like as far as like walking up straight.
Being
Because
able to walk.
remember,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
you walk with that little like
Yeah, yeah.
thick.
That pillow. When you
Once you
gotta when you gotta cough or you gotta pee or you
uh-huh.
gotta do anything,
I was like,
you gotta the pillow. You gotta put the pillow. Take that pillow. That pillow's your best friend. You be like,
what?
you ain't coughing
Listen.
too hard, and you ain't laughing either. You be
No.
like,
Oh no.
And when you gotta pee, like the pee feels like your whole bottom of your blood's gonna fall on out. Like, yeah, it definitely does. It
No,
definitely
it's
like
none of that.
that recovery for C-section is not for the weak, and it's not. And that's why a lot of moms need to stop saying that C-section is the easy way out. It really is not. And my OB
Not
said
for
it perfectly.
everybody.
No.
My OB said it perfect. She said, vaginal, you suffer then, you're at peace later. She said, C-section, you are at peace then, but you suffer later. At
Yep,
some point in time, there's going to be a hard patch. I think C-section is worse
I do
because
too.
that recovery, I'd rather have a labor and just recover in peace. And it was hard for seeing other women who had vaginal on the floor. They were walking around,
Yep,
walking, and I'm over there like hunched
waiting to
over,
poop.
like,
You can't leave until you
yeah,
poop.
yes, yes. I had to get like I no. First, I went for a stool softener, and I went from stool softener, and I didn't want to put that thing on my booty
I
pieces.
know.
Oh, but girl, I had to cave in. I was like, you know what,
Plus, you was sick
suppository.
too, so it was harder for you to go.
Yeah, it was bad, and I kept throwing up. So
Yeah.
on top of me not eating from having the baby, because guess
Mm.
what, you can't really eat once they feel like you're going in labor. You're in labor. No more food for you. They're
Yep.
giving you ice chips,
Yeah.
and
I
so
didn't want to look at no ice chips.
girl, me neither. After having her, I was
I
like,
was
where's my
already
food?
cold, first of all.
Girl,
So I was like, nah, I'm good. Because I
I
want
wanted my food.
food.
And they kept looking at me like, oh, because you were throwing up, we can't give you no food. So they
Not even
withheld food.
liquids.
They gave me chicken broth.
The chicken broth. Ugh.
And chicken broth is ain't chicken broth like we make it at home. Chicken broth was just water, flavored water. When I told you, I kept crying because I'm like, I'm hungry. And they were like, you were
Yeah.
throwing up. And they were like, you were not just really throwing up. Y'all, I was going at it with that moment. It was
Yeah.
all over my bed. The nurse had to come in, change my sheets. And they gave me this bag to put over my mouth. And they cleared everybody out of the room because I was projectile. It was coming out too much.
What was the breathing thing that we had to do? The breathing exercise. Remember that?
Yeah, for our lungs. Oh, I still got the
Yes.
little
You
equipment
still
thing.
got yours?
I still got the little
I
equipment thing.
literally threw mine away like maybe two
It's so
years ago.
annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Breathe in this.
Yes.
Breathe
And make sure it goes all the way up to here. And I was just
here.
like,
Girl, anybody don't want to do that. Anybody want to do that?
time for this. I just want to go home and eat regular food.
You know, it's like in the beginning, you're like excited to be in the hospital. You're like, okay, I'm here, my baby.
I was ready
I'm
to go.
here. But after like day two, they keep coming in and waking me up, waking up the baby, waking up everybody. I was like, this ain't it.
This
This
ain't
ain't
it.
it.
It's time for y'all
This
to
ain't
go.
it. I'm like,
I
I'm
just
ready to
wanted my
go.
sleep, and y'all kept bothering, testing, scanning the wristbands on me and the baby. Then you got the breastfeeding lady that come in to try to help you breastfeed. And then you got
They do
the Medicaid people.
yep,
Then you got the
the
hearing
hearing test.
tests.
They
Then
take your
you got
child to do little
oh,
exams. You be like,
and then I had to do the circumcision. Did we do circumcision in there? I think we did.
what did
It's
you do
just
there?
it's just like it was just too much. I was just ready to
Girl, I can
go.
imagine.
I was ready
And
to
you got
go.
visitors, they be popping up, and you be looking like, who's here
Like a
now?
hot bag of shit.
Girl, exactly.
I was like, I look a mess, acne all over my face, fat nose,
Girl,
eyebrows ain't done, hair all like
nothing.
what?
Nothing.
What? Y'all really coming to see me like this? Like for real?
And they just be, oh, the baby. You looking like,
Yes. I was like, long as y'all ain't trying to take no pictures with me, we good.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I want no pictures.
Like,
No.
don't take no pictures of me at all.
Yeah,
But yeah, girl,
that is true. But
two. I
yes, the
got two
whole
different
thing.
stories, two different outcomes, but I'm happy. They both are healthy boys. They're both healthy, alive.
Mhm.
Um, just as a mom, I just wish for them to succeed in whatever adventure that they choose to go to. I'm gonna be supportive.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
be there for both of them. Um, they're 10 years apart, so I'm dealing with two different lanes here, obviously.
Hmm.
But I just want what's best for my boys. Like I don't want to feel like I went through all of that with each one to sit here and say I'm giving up on you, or I don't want you to do this, or like I'm not showing any interest in your life. I want them to know that they got always have their
Yeah,
mom in their corner.
yeah.
Period. So, to me, that's what it is. That's what it's about now. Just letting them know I'm here always
Hmm.
in their corner.
That's a testament to being a mother. Like, I always tell people that you know, my mom always told me, don't have kids until you're ready, because she
Hmm.
said a mother is a mother for life, and you never stop being a mom, and you're stuck with the child regardless of what anybody says. Their dad is there, but the mom really is stuck with the child. If something happens to the child, they go to who first? The
The
mother.
mom.
And we're not saying that we're not shushing on dads. Father's Day is coming, so y'all have a seat right now. But moms are the pinnacle of a child's life. Let's be honest. I know what you say. Blah, blah, blah. Mothers are the pinnacle of a child's life, and any man knows that as well.
We're the
Um,
cycle of life
we
here.
we do, we are, and I never realized like how much of a big role motherhood is. That
Hmm.
you're responsible for somebody's whole being.
Hmm.
That and that once you become a mom, that there is really no going back. No matter how much you want to slice it and dice it, there really is no going back. And
Right.
my mom always said, trust me, you'll know. Nobody can tell you how to parent your child but you. It doesn't matter if
Hmm.
somebody's been a mom for 14 million years. Nobody can be a mother but you to your child.
Hmm.
And for Mackenzie, I would say she's, I always say, God doesn't give you what you want, He gives you what you need.
I agree.
And although she's what I wanted,
Hmm.
she is what I didn't know I needed. And
Exactly.
I think a lot of moms feel like that. I know you felt that about your babies. And
Hmm.
Jay, especially, at that time you might have felt like,
Definitely.
dang, I don't want no child this age, but God gave you exactly what you needed.
Yep.
And you love your babies dearly. And I would say for her, I just want her to find her voice, use
Hmm.
it properly,
Hmm.
and to be like a world changing woman. Like I want her to be a strong black woman, not take no shit,
I
put God
know.
first, but know who she is and let nobody tell her otherwise. For me, motherhood, I would say through my divorce and through everything has kept me grounded.
Yeah.
Like when I feel like I want to fall apart, I want to give up. I can't have this no more. I think if I didn't have her, I wouldn't be doing good. And I tell that
Okay.
because at nighttime, I tell myself when I do break down, I do crumble, when I do feel like I'm done, I definitely am looking at her in that bed sleeping. And I'm reminding myself that's just not an option.
Right.
That's not an option. And I tell
Yeah.
people this humbly, and I can say it today, that if I didn't have her, I think I would have been a damn mess. I think I would have never have gotten as far as I've gotten,
Hmm.
because for me, she definitely gave me a purpose to say, okay, you know what? I
Hmm.
can't just sit around. I have to show her that with or without a man or her father, that we can do this. And I remember the first day when we got this divorce and we were separated, I looked at her and I'm like, we're a team. You and mommy are a team. It's mommy
Aw.
Mackenzie now. And we're together forever. And it's me
Yeah.
and you for life. And that's when motherhood hit me, that no matter what she does, it's for life.
Yeah.
It's definitely for life. So, um, in our podcast today, we wanted you guys to see us, and who we are outside of being the two girls with the foolishness. We got time, but to see another side of us, to know that we're not just carefree, fun loving,
Hmm.
not with the shits women, but our most important role is motherhood, and we take it
Yeah.
very serious. And we can laugh and joke, but when it comes to our children, we're not with the shits at all.
Not at all. Period.
At all. At all. The whole fun loving CC and J go straight to what's up, what's good.
Oh,
Exactly.
what's good?
The face. She said, what's good? My mama always says a girl gonna be a mama bear for her children. What's good?
Hmm.
And when you got friends, they jump in, we a squad. You mess with one baby, you be like, what good? What we doing? Who we jumping? Who we taking with?
I definitely like the dynamic of like what we have, because you had a mother that was there who helped you
Mm-hmm.
and helped guide you and prepare you for motherhood. Mine was the opposite. Um, the woman that raised me didn't really give me. I learned by what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like different, like, and that's when what you said is Jay was what I needed. He was my push to say I need to push out of the circumstances that I was in and
Mm-hmm.
start putting myself first and him first. He gave me a purpose to move forward in my life rather than where I was stuck.
Mm.
So to me, it was just like I didn't know I needed that. I obviously didn't want it at the time. I was too young, but he definitely helped gave me that push to realize that I wasn't being taken care of the way I would want to take care of my child. And I
Mm.
realized the rights and the wrongs of being a mother. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I had
Yeah.
to learn from action rather than having conversations, being talked to. It was for me, it was just learning what not to do. So that's kind of how I learned motherhood for myself, and how to raise my boys the way that I want to raise them and let them know that I'm here for them. I have black boys, and we know in this world today, our black men are being killed. And I have
Yeah.
two. I have to have these conversations with them. I
Yeah.
have to prepare them. I have to
Mm-hmm.
talk to them. I have to love on them. I have to kiss them. I have to just be
It's rough.
there,
That's rough.
because at any given moment, I have one turning 18 years old. Y'all don't realize like how
And he's out in these
fearful of a
streets.
mother I am.
Yeah.
I have to carry that fear. I don't want him going in
Mm-hmm.
the world like fearing the world, but it's just like because of
Mindful.
what I know, what I see, this is what I got to do for as a mother. Period.
It's hard.
It's
You know, I'm gonna
hard.
be honest with you. I didn't want a boy for that same reason. I remember when she told me it was a girl, I was happy, but my reason for being happy wasn't a good reason. It wasn't because, oh, I don't gotta deal with a boy. It was because, well, dang, thank God, because my son won't be getting killed. Like that's the first thing in my mind. And when I told her father that, he
Mm-hmm.
literally said the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, I thought the same thing. He's like, I couldn't handle that."
Mm-hmm.
But that's sad to have to think like that. It's sad to
Yes.
say I didn't want a black son because I didn't want my son. I mean, yeah. So for me, when I
You,
see mothers of black boys, it's like my heart sinks because it's
mm-hmm.
like the fear, and it shouldn't be like that. You see it all the time.
Exactly. So
You
yeah, we
see
just
it.
got to stay prayed up. And I'm proud to be a mother of two black boys, but I'm also fearful, and that's just
Mm-hmm.
honesty. I'm proud of them. I'm happy. I'm a God fearing woman. I'm gonna stay prayed over them. But at the end of the day, let's be real. Out there in the
It's so
world,
scary. It's
they
not
don't
forgiving.
care.
They don't care.
So yeah,
That's
that's
true.
listen. This is us. This is us as mothers. This is the truth.
If you ain't
Like
never
this,
heard the truth.
if
And
you ain't
it's
never
the
heard the
thing,
truth,
like you're
this
as
is
a
us.
mom, you fear for your kids. Like I ain't gonna lie, you always have anxiety. I never
Mhm.
realized how much of like fear you have for your children.
Mhm.
Like I'm thinking to myself, "Hey, Mackenzie got to grow up one day, and I'm scared that I hope she knows about date rape. I hope she knows about rape. I hope she knows about not just taking it like going on calls with different people. I hope she knows about her vagina. I teach her all these things.
Mhm.
Like you are in your mind, you're thinking like when it comes to having a
Yeah.
child, my mom always said, when a child leaves your house, adult children are the hardest to parent. My
Mhm.
mom always said it. She's like, kids, give me them. Adult kids, she said it's the hardest. She's like, because when you're living your own lives and your own demands, in your own location, your own place, I'm
Mhm.
scared. Are you by yourself? Did you go home safe? Are you doing this? My mom used to call me every night.
Yeah.
Every night when I was living in Margate by myself with my daughter. Every night, my dad would drop by randomly, do drop bys because they were fearful. And it's like, oh, and I think about Mackenzie, it's like I could
Put your
see why they're
behind down.
fearful. Now I see
Sorry,
why they're fearful
girl. I
because you're
had
good.
to.
You're good. You're good. I can see why you're fearful because as your kids grow up and as mine, it's like you're thinking, well, did they go home tonight? Did
Mhm.
they go out tonight? And now I see when my mom don't want me going out to nobody club, no parties. Because now I see why.
Cause you
I'm be
still
like,
got to
Mackenzie,
worry. It never
where you at?
ends.
Did you come home?
It
Are you
never
driving home now?
ends. Yep.
So it's like my mom always said, it's easy to be a parent when a child's in your belly. She's like, cherish pregnancy. That's the only time you can control them.
As
When
long as
they
they're under your
outside,
roof, period. I
yeah,
feel like once Jay hit that stage of just wanting to be out, I know that my heart gonna be
it's a whole nother
pounding.
level.
It's a whole
Mm-hmm.
nother level.
Whole nother level.
So I don't rush him to go out. I do want him to experience the world, but I ain't rushing it. I want him to be
Yeah.
as close to home as possible.
Girl, me and you, child. I ain't kidding about it. Oh, I'm saying y'all baby out. You send your kids out. Mackenzie will be right in my house, in that room over there, sitting up in that. Don't play with me.
Don't
Don't play
play.
with me. You ain't going to be married, and even after you married, you still be in my house. You better go ahead and calm that down. Go ahead and calm that down. Your husband got to move in, sis. 'Cause we ain't
I
gonna be too
cannot.
much. Oh, you
I
got
can't.
grandbaby? Oh, go have him in my room. Come bring him in my house.
I cannot.
But a mother's a mother for life,
Yes.
It's like it's never goes away. My mom still calls me, and she called me cussing me. You ain't called me today. Did you eat? So
Hmm.
it is what it is. Parents, and young my mama soon, but it's definitely forever. But it's the biggest and the biggest blessing
It
and the
is.
best gift and the best title you could ever have is being called a mother. And kids drive you freaking crazy. But when they say mom or mommy or
Hmm.
mama, it's like your
I
little
love
heart
it.
be like, oh, this little girl drive me crazy. But when she at nighttime wants that little cuddle, and although she's choking my neck with her head as she's sleeping, it's
Hmm.
like when she's not here, I don't sleep. When she's
Yeah.
here,
You feel
I don't sleep
off.
when she's here.
You
I
feel
feel
off.
off. Like when she's not
Hmm.
here, I'm twisting and turning. When she's here, I'm complaining that she's in my face, sleeping and breathing my neck. When she's not here, it's
Yes.
like, why is she not breathing? Because she has to be close for me. I have to feel her presence. Like I got to know that she's around me
Yeah.
as a mom.
I'm
And that's just
grateful
being a
to
mom.
experience motherhood, and I pray that
Yeah.
those who are wishing to be mothers, I hope that you become a mother. And
Hmm.
those who are having difficulties, I hope that you can find the resources and the willpower to continue to keep trying and don't give up. Like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
I would love if everybody could be a mother and experience it. The ones that want to be a mom, I feel
That want to, but some women do not want to, and that is perfectly
that's
fine, sis.
perfectly
You're
fine.
smart.
But
You're smart. Live your best life.
the ones who want to experience it, I just hope that it
Yeah.
happens for them. And I feel bad when I hear these stories of moms that
Yeah.
it's really trial and error
Hard.
for them. It's hard. I
It's
feel
hard.
so bad. And I pray for them because I would love for every woman to experience motherhood that wants to experience motherhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
agree.
on
I
that
just know you
note,
feel guilty. Like I had to get over the guilty feeling. I remember when working at the hospital and being pregnant and seeing mothers coming fertility treatments in front of them. Because for me, it was
yeah,
like, dang, man. And I would always say things like, if I could have gave you the ability, I would have definitely given every woman that wants to do it. 'Cause if you don't want to be a mom, that's not your
that's why
option.
I said it like that. Yep.
If you don't want to do, we cannot shame women for not wanting to be mothers. It's not
No,
everybody's
it's
goal.
not
And
for
motherhood,
everybody.
to be honest with you, is not a goal. It's not doesn't make you successful. It doesn't make you better than nobody. It's just something that you want to do.
It's
And
a
other
gift.
people find fulfillment in being stepmothers. Some find fulfillment in being
Hmm.
aunties. Some just being a big
That's
sister
true.
role, godmother role. And if that fulfills you, then you are such a blessing because moms, biological moms, need you in their lives to take a
Exactly.
child, and you guys play a big role in just the whole growing up of a child.
Yeah.
So for women who don't be moms, we see you, and there's no problem with that. Stop shaming people for not wanting to be a mother. But those who do want to be and cannot be, definitely my prayers and my heart and everything that he said is definitely with you because it
Hmm.
is a blessing to feel a child in your womb. But just know that, like my friend always said, it's not fair to say, "Oh, adoption's an option," and because people don't want to adopt, and that's fine. They want to
Right.
feel it for themselves. That is fine.
Some
So
people want to take years to keep trying. That by all means,
exactly,
if you're not giving up, don't give up. Period.
don't give up until you feel like you. And if you do give up and you feel like you want to adopt, that's fine as well.
That's
You know
fine
your
too.
story because motherhood can be achieved different ways, not just through having a baby
Yes.
vaginally or by yourself.
Yeah.
Different ways of motherhood, but do what suits you because at the end of the day, you get to fulfill yourself as a woman.
Agree.
Nobody can do it for you, and nobody tell you how to do it either. So, on that note, happy Mother's Day
Happy
to
Mother's
all the
Day.
mommies. I hope you get rest, fed, a gift card to Marshalls, Ross, TJ Maxx, or Visa,
Okay.
a spa day, If somebody, the men, and men, we don't want to have sex. Leave us alone. We don't want that. Okay, that's for Father's Day, not for Mother's Day. We're not all of us. We want to be left alone on that day. We ain't trying to breed, have another baby. We just want to chill. Okay, so leave us alone. Okay, no sex, no sex.
Exactly.
Give me food. Okay, food,
Chocolate,
gifts,
food,
and sleep.
wine.
We'll do it day after Mother's
I'll
Day.
take the wine.
Right?
Thank
I'll
you.
take the food. Father's Day, we'll bust you wide open. Mother's Day, we chill. We tired.
I can't do.
And on that note,
On that note,
bye.
bye. She played too much, y'all.